2 months of hard work. Thank you so much. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's a wonderful Saturday morning, and I'm very much pleased and privileged to welcome you all to this opening ceremony of the Conference of Indian Lawyers Association in collaboration with Dayanand University. Being a local president of Indian Lawyers Association Rohtak chapter, I'm very much honored to stand here as a spokesperson for an organization that believes in advancing the post to lawyers and legal fraternity. Indian Lawyers Association aims to support the legal profession by offering access to practical resources for legal professionals to help improve the administration of justice, establish ethical codes, and develop a professional network of lawyers across India and the world. Let me begin by extending a warm welcome to Head of the Temple of Learning and Knowledge, our distinguished chief guest for the day, Professor Rajbir Singh, Vice-Chancellor, Dayanand University. I request Dr. Sushil Duneza to present the memento to the Vice-Chancellor, sir, and we welcome you, sir, for your kind presence. Dr. Sushil Duneza, please come. I'll quickly come on stage and give a token of thanks to Shri Manmohan Goel, Mayor Rohtak City. Granny Mr. Sharma ji, please come. Please come fast. We'll have positive time. First profile, that he has got approximately 30 years of teaching experience. More than 15 scholars have been awarded PhD under his guidance. He has acted as a keynote speaker in many national and international seminars and conferences. He's written 70 articles and has got 3 books published in his name. Let's put our hand together, Dr. A.S. Dalal, because Naveen, Dr. Sushil Duneza, kindly present the memento to Dr. A.S. Dalal. Company based in Los Angeles, California. Mr. Chugh is also on the board of Asia Society of Southern California, Habib American Bank, Ignify, an IT consulting firm, Prof. Southern California, and American Indian Foundation. Wow. It took me a while to explain all his achievement in life. But above all, he's a true gentleman, and Sir, I feel very proud and very excited to be connected to you. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hand together for welcome Mr. Navneet as our keynote speaker for the day. Mr. Navneet.
Good evening. I think I don't need any introduction here now. Navneet has already praised a lot about me, but just for the spur of the moment and for the sake of it, I'm Advocate Naveen Arya. I'm practicing here at Rohtak District Court, and I did my law and LLM from this same university in corporate. And I would say, like, being a president of Rohtak ILA chapter, I'm very privileged, and the kind of respect that Navneet and all the ILA members and board members have given me. So I'm highly indebted to all of them. And let's have a very happening closing ceremony after this. Thank you so much. To open up the conversation, I'll just quote some data that I have with me. Right, it's related to the biggest problem that we're facing with the Indian judiciary right now. And it's like the ILA has already declared a judicial emergency in India. So because more than 3.3 crore cases are pending in India, and out of 3.3 crore cases, 2.83 are pending in district courts, and approximately 45 lakhs are pending in high courts. And roughly, I believe, like 70,000 cases are pending in Supreme Court. So what I feel is the major pressure is upon the judicial, the district courts, right? So we have a problem of input versus output, right? As per a recent survey, I was reading through some magazine, like every day we're filing 5 cases and we're able to dispose of only 2, right? So, and we have long backlog of cases, and there are several reasons to it, like why we have this huge leap of cases pending with us. One of the very generic reason that most person says that, like, oh, we do not have too much judges, we're short of like 6,000 to 7,000 judges. So I would, because being the part of this panel as a moderator, I would start asking some, and in fact firing some tough questions regarding the pendency and how we can solve it. So I'll start with Madam Ritu Behl, like if she has some views to face this monstrous juggernaut of pendency of cases in India.
Thank you, ma'am. So infrastructure is a problem with Indian courts. Like we, as ma'am has just said, like we do not have enough infrastructure. Maybe we do not have enough courtroom, or we may not have enough staff room to deal with files and to do the normal clerical work. So, Mr. Sikri, what do you think? Like, why does a case get delayed in reality? I mean, I am reminded of this Sunny Deol ka dialogue, "Tareek pe tareek milti hai, judge sahab insaf nahi milta." Is that true? Thank you, sir. So, my next question is to Mr. Dr. Rishi Kulturist. Sir, do you think we are at the stage of we are at the verge of something where judiciary is collapsing, maybe because judiciary is saddled with so much of work, and often we see judges, they sometimes shout at lawyers, and sometimes, they do not come up with a quality judgment. So do you think we are at verge of something, right, where judiciary needs a complete revamp or something? The problem that I feel like, all the topmost lawyers that I personally know, they're not ready to take up this job as a judge. I don't know why, maybe because of the salary. Last night when I was talking to Navneet and we discussed, district judge in US, he gets somewhere around $208,000, that is per year. So if we calculate into Indian currency, it will come somewhere around 12 lakh rupees per month. So this is the salary a judge gets in a whole year here in India. So my next question is to Shruti. Do you think the increasing salary will nudge the top short lawyers to join up as judges in judiciary? Information, Navneet, I've got 2 boys and I have applied to this CARA, the Central Adoption Research Agency, just to adopt a baby girl, and we're gonna be family for 3 because that was I always wanted in my family. So it's just the mindset that you have in your mind, right? Because a woman is seen as somebody that, idol of worship in India, right? But on the other hand, we don't want the woman fetus in the womb. So that is a big problem. And Shruti, do you want to add something to this? Vijit? Okay, so I think we are all in this session, and we'll now send to Arunika to...
Hello, excuse me.
Yeah.
Like you said, the glass ceiling we must break it. But sometimes the glass...
Several steps. Maybe like, I'll take an example of a judge. Like for a judge, the toughest part is at the end of the case where he or she has to write the judgment, right? So because he or she has to go through the complete facts and the law, maybe retrospective or prospective. So the one step that we can take is we can have a post created, maybe of a law researcher or somebody who could give everything handy to a judge that this is the law in place, and keeping the facts in mind, you can now apply your judicial mind to either dismiss or allow or do whatever decision you want to take. And another thing, what I believe, is the role of Lok Adalat, fast track courts, ADR, but above all, what I feel is, we're just short of 7,000 judges in India. So 7,000 is not a huge number. It's like we can fill up all these vacancies maybe in 2 months if we all comes together and if this all India Judicial Service is created. And on an average, a judge gets a salary of 1 lakh rupees, and even if we check the burden on the exchequer, it will not come more than 70 crore rupees per month. So I don't think that is a huge amount, because when we have this Mr. Modi frauding us for 11,000 crores, and there's so many other big frauds coming up in these days. So 70 crore is the budget for per month to all these 7,000 judges. And another thing that is we can do some digital intervention like what we did with the banking part, wherein we centralize all the banking to a central network, and maybe we can have some kind of system where we have everything
I have a dream, maybe, you know, as soon as I type something like
I'm sorry, I'm extremely sorry to cut you off, but
the long-standing problem, like this movie, this Damani came like 26 years back, and the famous Sunny Deol dialogue, "Ki tarik pe tarik milti hai, jab sab insaf nahi milta." And what I believe, this dialogue has become much more stronger and relevant today, because we are at the verge of something, because we are actually sick, I would say. And for a sick person, a surgery is required. So surgery in what manner? Maybe adding up more judges, maybe adding up more courtrooms, maybe adding up this post of law researcher, maybe digitalize the judiciary, right? So there are many things that we can intervene, or maybe I think we can take some example of Singapore and Brazil and America. They have per lakh, I think, Navneet, they have how many judges? 17 per lakh? 14 times more than India, see? So I think in India, per lakh we have one judge. So you can understand how much burden and how much a judge is saddled with, you know, the work. So my point is this, like, there should be something, and we need to quicken up to fill up the vacant vacancies as soon as possible.
regarding that,
Wait.